All right, today we are diving into a guide for what's got to be one of India's most challenging exams, the UGC NET. But hold on, this isn't your typical heavy textbook. Nope, this is the HR Aspirant's Guide to UGC NET Success, and it promises a totally different way of looking at things for all you HR pros out there. So if you're getting ready for any major exam, does this feeling seem familiar? You've got stacks of books, the pressure is mounting, and that little voice of self-doubt starts creeping in. I mean, it can be completely overwhelming. And trust me, you are not alone in that feeling. But what if your guide wasn't just another textbook to add to the pile? The author here, Ashish Chadha, he introduces this really unique idea, the rough book. The whole point is for it to be a practical, almost personal companion for your entire prep journey, not just some manual you have to memorize.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get into what makes this guide so different. Then, we'll break down its core framework, the why, how, and what next. After that, we'll look at its strengths, but also its limitations, and finally, we'll land on the final verdict.
So what does that really mean to be more than just a manual? Let's jump in and see how this guide's whole purpose is to be something completely different from everything else on the shelf.
The author calls this a rough book. Think of it less like a polished, perfect textbook and more like a workbook for your mind. It's really built to help you wrestle with the mental game and the strategy behind exam prep, not just the raw information.
And this rough book idea, well, it's all built on a really simple but honestly pretty powerful three-part framework: the why, the how, and the what next. This structure is what really makes the whole approach tick.
Now here's the really crucial part. It's how these three steps work together. First, the why grounds you. It makes you really think about your motivation, which, let's be honest, is a huge weapon against burnout. Then, the how gives you actual tools to deal with anxiety and build discipline. And finally, the what next brings it all home by connecting that mindset to actual practice with a solved question bank. It's a full circle approach, building up your mental game right alongside your knowledge base.
So, with that framework in mind, what does this guide really nail? Let's break down the key strengths that make it a standout.
There are 4 big wins here. First, it's laser-focused on HR postgraduates. It speaks their language. Second, it does a fantastic job of balancing that inner mindset work with actual practical exercises. Third, the question bank gives you real explanations, not just the right answer. And maybe the best part, the voice is just authentic. It feels like you're getting advice from someone who's actually been there, not just reading some generic guide.
And this quote, it just captures the whole philosophy perfectly. It's about taking the act of studying and turning it into something more, a journey of personal growth. It's about building discipline and clarity that, frankly, will help you way beyond just this one exam.
Of course, no guide is perfect for absolutely everyone. So to keep it real, we have to talk about its limitations and who might need to find something else. The first thing you're going to notice is the page count, just 143 pages. Now, for some people, that's a huge plus. It's short, sweet, and to the point. But if you're looking for one single book to cover every single topic on the syllabus, this is probably going to feel way too brief. So, the big question, is this guide for you? Well, it's perfect if you're looking for motivation, a solid strategy, and something to use alongside your main study materials. But if you want a single book that covers the whole syllabus, or you just want a dry technical manual without any of the mindset stuff, then this probably isn't the one for you. All right, we've looked at the approach, the strengths, and the limitations. Let's pull it all together and get to the final verdict. So here it is, the bottom line. The HR Aspirant's Guide is an absolutely excellent companion. Its real power is in helping you build the right mindset, get clear on your purpose, and find the confidence to go for it. But, and this is a big but, it is not a replacement for your core study materials. Think of it as your strategic coach, not your encyclopedia.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. We spend so much time focusing on what to study, right? But this guide makes a pretty compelling case that how we think and why we're doing it is the real game changer. So could your mindset be the one key you've been missing all along? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.